All right, so you're welcome to this free masterclass. And this masterclass, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know about running a profitable campaign. And today, which is the first day, we're going to walk you through the basics of what you need to pay attention to when you're running your Facebook and Instagram ads. So, you're welcome to the Arts Academy. Welcome to this 3 days masterclass. And like I promised you, you are definitely going to learn everything you need to know about running profitable Facebook and Instagram ads successfully. My name is Olafisarami and I've been doing digital marketing for about 3 years now. I have my background in sales and marketing. I used to run sales, and I did that for about 3 years before I started doing digital marketing. And why do I learn digital marketing? I started learning digital marketing because I know that if I can put my message in the right of this in front of the right set of people, that's the only thing I need. The fundamental skill you need is how to get your messaging in front of the right set of people, and that is the fundamentals of sales. Getting your information in front of the right set of people, and that's what advertisement is all about. So in this in this Arts Academy, we're going to be learning everything about Facebook and Instagram ads, and I can assure you everything you're learning here is something that is applicable to every other platform out there. We have Google ads, TikTok ads, Instagram, Google, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Pinterest, Quora, Reddit, any other platform at all. Would you will be able to apply everything I am teaching you today, even though we have a little bit of technical differences in the actual setting up of the account and all for each of those platforms. In case you're interested in learning all those platforms like TikTok ads, Google ads, Twitter ads, you can reach out to me for that course, because that's like an upgraded version. But like I promised you, everything you need for the masterclass, you're going to get it. And a lot of people have been asking me, is there going to be like, am I really for teaching people for free? I can promise you, I'm going to keep to my words today. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know for free. Now, let me sound a note of warning. After this class, you may be scared, in the sense that you still hear people that they are telling you that there's one trick, there's one magic, there's one special way you can do advertisements that will give you massive income. I can categorically tell you that most of the times, 90 to 80 or 70% of 90 to 100% of the time, people are liars. And I can tell you that have bought courses of almost all the famous digital marketers in the marketing space, and I can tell you that there's really nothing else you need to know. It can it is the fundamentals that you need. There's no special trick anyone can do. You understand? So I don't want you to focus on tips and tricks. I want you to focus on what exactly moves the needle. So that's that about me, and let's go straight right into the course. Now, first things first, this is the first thing I want you to understand, and I want to be at the back of your mind. All right, so let's go through. If you look at this page, you see that the only thing I have on this page is just a single statement: think like a buyer. Most of the times, one mistake I find that people do is we tend to forget how we buy things when we buy things. When we are trying to run ads, you all of a sudden forget how you behave when you are a buyer on the internet. You understand? So because if you stop thinking like a buyer at any point in time, you will make certain kinds of mistakes that nothing else can solve those problems. Let me give you very simple examples. Number one, so let's assume that you're running. you have Instagram not installed on your phone, and you saw a Facebook ad on your phone and it says but the person only gave you the option to message them on Instagram. Now, do you think that you will go through the stress of installing Instagram just because the person is advertising something on Facebook? No, you won't go through that stress. You just forget about the ads and you continue moving on. That's the first thing. Number two, let me give another example. When you go to Instagram or you go to Facebook, as the case is, and you are, why do you go to the place? Do you go to the place to look for something, or you go to the place to while away time? Maybe you are bored, you are in the vehicle, you are going home. Do you sit down to say, okay, I want to find out, except from occasions, maybe you are looking for inspirations, people in the, maybe you are doing ashwebi, then you want to check out something. But on a normal day, you don't go to Instagram to go and look for information, so to speak. You just go there to while away time. And this should influence how you are thinking about the kind of ads you want to run. Let me give you another example. So I was running an ad for a tour business. They were going to Morocco, Marrakesh to be precise, and the the whole charge was about, I think, 4 point something million naira, if I remember now. I'm not sure of the figure now. And this person wants people to make payments instantly. And we are not using any celebrity to run the ads. We were not using any popular figure. It was just the guy. And the question I asked him is, think about this. Let's assume that your elder sister came back from office that day and told you, hello, Mr. Jack. I actually saw an Instagram ad too, and I really love the ad. They promised us that we're going to go to Marrakesh. That's where we're going to. And I actually sent the person's 4.2 million naira for the trip. What happens? The first response you're going to say is, they don't scam you. And that's because nobody expects anybody to pay that amount of money online to a stranger that is not known. That's why if you see the travel and tour niche, you see that they use popular faces a lot. So, or a company that has built a track record over and over and over and over and over again. So, when you're thinking of running Facebook and Instagram ads, you must think like a buyer. What you're not going to go through as a person when you are making a purchase online, don't make the people that want to buy from you go through them. I repeat, at the back of your mind, as you're following me in this course, I want you to, I will keep repeating this simple statement over and over again to you. Always think like the person, like as if you are the one that want to buy that particular product. Don't always think that you don't always look at the effort you have placed. You know, there are sometimes that I create some videos and I watch the video again and I'm like, nah, this thing, if I'm also the buyer, will this video catch my attention? I don't let the fact that I've spent lots of time trying to figure out that particular thing. Once I find that this thing is not going to work, I shut it down. Always, always, always think like a buyer. Don't let the bias affect you. So I want that to really settle down in your mind. There are many ways to look at this thinking like a buyer, but I'm just going to stop it there. Now, so let's get into the meat of the conversation now. So we're going through what I call the fundamentals. Now, the first thing I said is these are four fundamental things you must know. Number one, your offer. What exactly are you selling to people? I want you to know one thing, that your ads cannot force people to buy what they don't want to buy. There's actually a level of marketing where we do what we call, it's called desire generation. That is, we can create a desire for a product in the minds of people, and people spend millions and billions of dollars to achieve something like that. People spend a lot of money to force a people to behave in a certain manner. A very good example is Temu in Nigeria. You find out that Temu practically forced us into the ecosystem. But let me quickly show you something. Let me enter AI mode and let me ask AI how much was Temu marketing budget? Let's look at this together. How much was Temu's marketing budget? Because estimating indicates that the Temu global marketing budget exceeded 3 billion annually. 3 billion annually. Look at it again. 3 billion annually. So if you want to force the market to behave in a certain kind of way, you must be able to have enough money to create desire in the heart of people, to force people to buy what they may not even want to buy. And there are stories like that all over in the marketing game. For instance, smoking by women was forced into our system. But for you as a business owner, you most likely don't have the resources to achieve that. So let it be at the back of your mind that anything you are offering people must be what people already want to buy. People must be willing. Remember the first thing we said, the fundamentals. Think about it personally. Have you ever bought something you actually never wanted to buy before? I doubt if that has ever happened to you. Like you didn't really want it, you didn't like, maybe you just saw a wristwatch and you have never liked watches in your life and you bought it because you saw an ad. There are many things your hearts can never do, and one of them is to force people to buy what they don't want to buy. The desire must be there already. The desire is created by the society. The desire is created not by your heart. You cannot do that. That is a very difficult thing to do. And I see people advertising, doing this every now and then, trying to force crap that Nigerians don't buy on people. So you must be clear in your advertising that people will only buy what they want to buy. So your best bet is to put the things that people want to buy before their eyes and give them the reasons why they should choose you. And that is what your offer is meant to do. The question your offer should answer is, out of 738 persons selling the same thing, why should we come to you? So your offer should answer the following question. Number one, why should I trust you? Why should I trust you? Number two, have people bought from this person before? And number three is, how can I make payment? Those things must be clear in your offer. So I think I've clarified what your offer should look like. We're still going to go through the technical aspect, but I must grant you on these basics first. Number two is follow up. And I said the main sales are in the follow up. Once again, remember, think like a buyer. Think as if you are the one that wants to make purchases. Now, think about it. How many times have you bought something the first time you ever saw the ads and you have not been thinking about it before? Most likely, you just checked the ad because you loved what the person was doing. You checked it out and you're like, okay, maybe I'll buy in the next 2 months, I'll buy the next 3 months, I'll buy the next 4 months. That is why you must understand that it is compulsory for you to follow up with the leads you're generating on social media when you're running ads. The money is in the follow up. So once you're setting up your ads, you must have a system in place whereby you must follow up with people. Remember, like I told you, fundamentally, the first thing you must never forget in this our conversation is how to think like a buyer. You must be able to think like a buyer. How many ads have you clicked and watched and you bought immediately? You must be able to think like that. That is why follow up is compulsory. Follow up is a necessity in your ads game. You must have a means of following up with people. The third thing is your sales structure. How easy or how difficult is it for people to buy from you? You must ensure that it is so easy for people to buy from you. And this will show in the kinds of solutions, payment solutions you have. Because this is not a art problem now. This is another problem entirely because your art will not solve that problem for you. So, for instance, you know that a number of Nigerians now they would like bank transfer option. That is, they can easily transfer the bank payment to you and send you their receipt, and you do that. You must always think like your buyer. And there are many reasons why the person may be struggling with doing maybe a card transaction. Number one, think like a buyer. If you saw an ad and your card is not handy with you, let's say your card is in your purse, remember what I told you initially. Think like a buyer. Think like a buyer. So let's assume that you're coming back from work, you're so tired, and you're just on Instagram, and you saw a nice shoe you wanted to buy, and the only option was to use your card. Possibly your card is at home, possibly your card is in your bag, and you're just too tired to bring that card out. You have just simply lost that sale because your sales structure is a little bit difficult for the buyer. So if you have an option for the person to do a bank transfer, the person can easily copy the bank account, go to their banking app and send. So you must understand that your sales structure must support your kind of audience. You must totally understand that if your audience would want maybe a payment breakdown, because these are the things that happen and people claim that their ads are not working, is because they don't have the proper structure of the ads ecosystem. Then the last thing I want you to pay attention is audiences. And I can this is one of the things that happens, and I'm like, it may be that by Facebook and Instagram ads remains one of the best platform you would ever run your advertisement on. Okay, so now we're going to audiences, and you must understand this very, very well. There are three kinds of audiences. We have cold audience, warm audience, and hot audience. Once again, remember the code. Think like the buyer. Think like the buyer. So let's say that you saw someone you have never seen on the internet before, and the person is selling something. What would be the thing that will convince you to buy from the person? So let me define the audiences very quickly. What's a cold audience? A cold audience is an audience that doesn't even know they have the problem they have. How you're going to market to uh, someone that is a cold audience is so different from someone that is a warm audience and someone that is an hot audience. So a cold audience will be someone that doesn't even know that you can make money via affiliate marketing. The person will be dealing with a lot of skepticism. The person will be dealing with a lot of doubt. The person will be dealing with a lot of unbelief. So you would have to go through the educational route if you're advertising to a cold audience, that is someone that has never heard anything about what you're trying to say before. So let's say we're talking about losing, let's say acne. You sell a product for acne, and the method you are talking about is a method people have never heard before. That's a cold audience. A cold audience, maybe you found out via research that the reason why people suffer from acne is because they consume we consume a kind of rice that has some kind of something. The person doesn't even know that it's because of the food he or she is eating is why he or she has an acne, you can't immediately sell that product to that cold audience because the person doesn't care. The person doesn't even believe you. The person doesn't know that the problem you are trying to solve, the person is just cold. That's a cold audience. So how you advertise to a cold audience is way, way, way different from how you advertise to a warm or a hot audience. Using the same acne solution is someone that has figured out that, okay, I have an acne problem and I'm trying to solve it. I know that you know that there are many things you want in your life that you are, and like I'm saying, think like a buyer. The honest truth is there are many things that we are all cold buyers to. And let me quickly clarify something. Who is an ideal audience for your business? Before you know the ideal audience for your business, they must qualify for three things. There must be three things that you need before someone is an audience. Someone is even in your audience pool. Someone can listen to you. Number one, the person must, I repeat, let me write it down for you. What makes an audience possible? How do we know an audience? Now, the person must have these three things: problem, that's why in advertising and in marketing, all problems are not created the same. So think about it. So let's assume that you found out that you you had a life-threatening disease. The way you're going to approach it, the amount of money you are willing to spend on that problem would so much influence the result of the campaigning people are trying to get you to. The first person is there must be a problem. The second thing is the person must have finances, money. No, no, finances is being English. Money to solve the problem. So here are three things that qualifies someone to be your audience. Someone that is ideal. The person must have a painful problem, the problem that the person is willing to solve. The person must have money to solve that problem, and the person must be able to make the decision to solve the problem. So look at your life, for instance, now, because people have limited resources in terms of money, people are usually judicious in the use of their money. And like I'm saying, once again, remember, I've told you before, always think like the buyer. Always think like the buyer. So depending on at the fundamentals of everything we're talking about is what is called buyer psychology, and it's something I will encourage you to study. We have a number of areas. We have what we call behavioral economics or behavioral psychology. Is actually the study of how human beings behave and how human being purchases. You understand? So let me give you an example of what I'm saying. So let's say it's your birthday. Now, you notice that the prayer to buy new clothes for your birthday is more than just buying clothes on a normal day. Now, people that are showing you art in that particular moment would do less work compared to when you want to buy clothes on a regular day. So for instance, how do I know? So let's say you met a very nice clothes that you wanted to buy, and the person's sale process is quite difficult. Maybe you have to go to the Instagram page. You have to message the person, and the person takes 12 hours to respond. But if it's just that you just need a clothes on a regular day, you're going to forget about that process. So that is why these three things must be at the back of your mind. The problem the person is trying to solve. Does the person have money to solve the problem? And can the person make the decision to solve the problem? That is what qualifies someone as your audience. Now, like I mentioned those three things to you, it must be at the back of your mind. So quickly, like I was explaining, cold audience, I've explained what cold audience is. Warm audience is someone that has found out that now I need a wedding, I need a birthday clothes. The person is now contemplating what kinds of clothes to buy. Are you following the analogy? The person is already contemplating what kinds of clothes to buy. Then what's going to be happening in the person's mind? Possibly the person is on Instagram, is on TikTok, searching for fashion related content, trying to look for clothes idea. That's a warm audience. The person is already thinking about solving that problem that they have. And one thing I should quickly talk about this problem now is don't always think of problems. That's why I recommend you to study buyer psychology or behavioral economics. When you this problem can be many things. It could be just acceptance. All of us we want to be accepted by other people, by people we love, and by society. There's that craving. There's that inner yearning for validation from other people, and it's we have a lot of things we use to validate ourselves across many spectrums. You understand? So you have to that's a warm audience. Now, what's an hot audience? A hot audience is someone that has decided that, okay, I want to buy this skirt and this is the amount I am willing to spend. That one is already actively looking for the solution. So, what the person is just looking for in that stage, with the example we have been using, is someone that is already someone that has good deal. So maybe you're in Lagos, for instance. Now, what the person is just considering is, okay, are you in Ireland, and sure you won't go away with my money. That's all. And the last thing I want to say about audiences is always remember audiences are not created equally. The kinds of audience you get from a website is different from the kind of an audience that is chatting you on WhatsApp. The kinds of audience that is chatting you on Instagram, they are all different. And it's because for someone to go to a website, read the website, and is trying to make a purchase, that's a different kind of audience compared to other kinds of audience on the internet. And the last thing I also want to talk about when it comes to audiences is the fact that audiences, they are not equal, they are different, and they are different across many ways. Their buying capacity is different, their level of sophistication is different, the level of awareness is different. So that must be clear at the back of your mind. Your heart will not create an audience for you. What you're trying to do in your heart is to position yourself to appeal to the different segment of audiences that we have in the market. Now, let me use another example. So let's say someone that wants to buy a laptop. Now, the person doesn't even know that he can consider mini importation, that is buying directly from China to get his laptop. He only knows about going to Computer Village in Lagos. If you look at it, if you're an importation person, you have to educate that core audience on the fact that they can also buy from China. Now, if it's a warm audience, the person is already contemplating who to buy from. Then you can show them the reasons why they should buy from you. And if it's an hot audience, you are just showing them these are my prices and this is what makes me different. So I hope you have been able to understand the fundamentals of a successful ad campaign. See you in the next class.